The Smith Creek Nature Preserve south of Boxley Valley in northwest Arkansas is one of many areas that's protected by the Nature Conservancy, being referred to as ecologically significant. And it's where we begin this week's show. And then we'll take you on a wild cave tour at Cosmic Cavern near Berryville, where the bottom of 2 underground lakes has yet to be found. And then we'll close it all out at the world's longest bayou along Bayou Bartholomew Nature Trail near Pine Bluff. So now let's go and explore Smith Creek Nature Preserve. The more than 1,200 acres of the Smith Creek Nature Preserve form an additional connection between the Buffalo National River to the north and the Ozark National Forest to the south. This area is primarily known for its endangered Indiana bat population. Sinkholes throughout the preserve provide numerous passageways into an extensive cave system.
This is an entrance into Surefield Cave, which is one of the longest caves in Arkansas. So there's about 3 miles of passage underneath this property and a couple of the surrounding properties.
And that's where those Indiana bats hibernate in the wintertime.
Yes, this is the largest hibernaculum for Indiana bats in Arkansas. They used to be in a lot of caves. Lately they haven't, in recent history they haven't been doing that good. Actually the population here is growing a little bit. So we've had some growth in the population right here. And that's one of the reasons we're going to the effort to protect the property. So it's actually forming more cave void right now.
The bats not only use the cave, but the surrounding forest as well.
The Indiana bat does its maternity function, raises its babies in the woods, in hollow cavities in trees. So having the cave and a large expanse of protected wooded area with trees of all ages was very important. Young forest doesn't provide the cavities that an older forest does.
Tim Snell is the Director of Ozark Conservation Programs for the Nature Conservancy in Arkansas. The Ozark Karst, or cave ecoregion, stretches from northern Arkansas into eastern Oklahoma and southern to central Missouri. This unique underground terrain harbors bats, salamanders, crustaceans, and at least 60 species found nowhere else on Earth. Protecting this vast area is what the Ozark Karst program is all about.
And basically we concentrate on what we think is the 20 most important caves every year. We try to do protection and work with landowners and work on the resource at the 20 most important places each year. So as we actually accomplish things at a site, oftentimes that site will drop down and the next most important one will pop up. So it keeps us moving around the Ozarks, looking at what's the most important thing to do right now for the karst species that live there.
What Tim and his team have learned about the Ozark Karst ecosystem will be used in other parts of the world.
So we have what we call the Karst Conservation Toolbox. And recently we've been asked by the Nature Conservancy to export that knowledge to other programs around the world. So we'll be visiting Borneo, Jamaica, Yucatan, parts of Mexico, and taking this toolbox that we've developed here and used successfully here to other places. So it's kind of an opportunity for us to go to another project, rapidly bring their karst planning up so that they can get on to the implementation stage and actually start doing things on the landscape that will benefit the karst species there.
Saving the last great places on Earth is the focus of the Nature Conservancy when deciding what areas to protect.
And it certainly is, but it does vary whether we're working around the globe or right here in Arkansas. The Nature Conservancy works in 33 countries around the world and in all 50 states. Regardless of where we're working, though, we always want to look at the biological diversity of a place. And some people are surprised to learn some of the most biologically rich places are right here in Arkansas. The lower Mississippi River Valley, for instance, is the most biologically rich, diverse place in the United States. So, and then of course we're standing at a place that has some incredible species, the Indiana bats that you've learned about already. But we like to consider a lot of things when we're looking at a place that we're interested in having a hand in conserving, and we always work with partners. And here, this piece of property connects the 1.2 million acre Ozark National Forest to the 95,000 acre Buffalo National River. It helps protect the water quality of this stream for humans and for the animals that live in the cave below that the water seeps down into and on into the Buffalo River. So there's turkey, deer, elk even on this property. So this was a pretty easy one to pick as one that was definitely worthy of conservation efforts.
Fall and spring hikes are offered at the Smith Creek Preserve by the Conservancy. You can find out more at nature.org/Arkansas. Like most caves, Cosmic Cavern north of Berryville also has its unique formations, but unlike other caves, this cavern also has two small underground lakes, the bottoms of which have yet to be discovered. And if you're really adventuresome, there's also a wild cave route. So let us take you on yet still another Ozark underground wonder. The first few feet of this wild cave tour are the trickiest. Of course, what our viewers didn't see was we almost lost a videographer. Mishad Holiday went ahead of us so he could get this shot of us going across. Just almost lost him down in that lake. He made it.
The cave was found in 1845 by a lead prospector, which would be about 1,000 feet behind me. We're about 1,000 feet into the cave here. The cave wasn't opened commercially as a show cave till 1927, which is about the time a lot of the show caves opened up. Motels, Route 66 is in the area. A lot of places started, people started going cross country and they want to see the natures and wonders of nature. When they got back in the Ozarks, there's quite a few caves, and by that time there were probably 20 or 30 mom and pop caves. This was one of them, and it was closed during World War II, reopened in 1952. And I came here when it was changed from Mystery Cave to Cosmic Cavern in 1972, and I've been here ever since. The tour has, let's see, the 3 times we've added on to the tour route since I've been here, and we've added from what was about probably a 700 or 800 foot tour is now a third of a mile all the way through the trip.
The underground lakes are what make this cavern so interesting.
According to the geologists, we're situated in the Arkadelphia, and there's a large crack in the ceiling all the way through the cave. 90% of the cave follows this fault line, and a fault can run very deep, and this fault has broke into an aquifer called the Rubidoo. The Rubidoo aquifer feeds Roaring River, Blue Springs, several places in this area, and it never drops below a certain point, so we always have a lot of water. We've got 3 places in the cave that has a constant water level, it never goes below that point. It's been up many times up over the sidewalk since I've been here, but it never drops below a certain point, and it just keeps feeding on back further in the mountain.
Since the cave's discovery, the bottoms of the lakes have not been found.
Nobody can reach the bottom because man's technology hasn't gone that far yet. We can't figure out how to fit through some of these places. Everybody has ideas. Why don't you train the fish? We have trout in here that we could put lights on and maybe let them go back and have a camera tied to them. We have some really wild analogies about how to get back in the cave, but we never will find a true bottom or a true end because a fault line of this extent can run between 5,000 and 10,000 feet in the ground, which may not be very wide, but it's still there, and that still doesn't take much of a crack in the ground to bring water up. If you've ever had a broken water pipe, it doesn't take much of a crack to cause the water to flood the house.
Divers have explored the lakes but haven't been too successful.
We've had 3 sets of divers, and one diver that in the second lake back here, when they dove to make an IMAX movie that's shown in Branson now, he was able to squeeze through a small crevice and touch the ceiling of a big underwater room and have a 2 million candle power light that he could see the room, but he couldn't fit through it. And the walls were so sharp and were covered in flint, he couldn't squeeze in there. And that is the next possibility as far as going underwater. And it's a huge underwater room they've seen but can't get to it.
Cosmic Cavern is home to the rare Ozarks blind cave salamander and 2 particular barrels.
I brought an old man in the cave in 1986 that all the way through the cave he's bragging about when he was a kid they came in here and had some boats they made out of old barrels. And of course the easiest way to make a boat in the cave is roll 4 barrels together and tie them together. They did that with oak poles, and when they had done exploring the cave they apparently left them back here and they sank. Well, this guy's all the way through the cave, he's telling me, I got an old barrel boat he's telling me about. And I showed him the old barrels that when the water's low on the tour, you can see them. And he said, yep, that's our boat. And it was down here in 1911 when I was down here with it. And he was about 11 years old. To this day, we haven't had any eyewitnesses that can go back that far because not many people come in 100 years later and tell you stories. I've been here long enough. After 35 years, I've heard lots of stories from a lot of old timers that have long since passed away. And we have documented quite a bit of it.
Randy began offering the thrill of wild caving to visitors back during the early 1990s.
In 1993, January 23rd, we found a whole new section of cave that goes back almost a quarter of a mile. And the little bitty crawlway we had to squeeze through was just like a small augured out tunnel that we had blasted 2 small charges of dynamite. We explored it thoroughly for probably about a month and a half, and within a year's time we had a walkway part of the way back. Between that and that first year, from 93 to 94, we started showing about 200 people this back part of the cave for I think $35. And you get nasty, you get muddy, you got lakes you had to go across. We had a rubber raft that never could hold air, which made it much more interesting and colder of a route. And so in 94 we had this section back to where I'm standing added on, and we still took a boat and still went back further in the cave. We were the first show cave in the Ozarks to add on a wild tour. Everybody later started doing it and kind of followed my example. But now we have a little deck and it's a little easier to get back in there. We still spend about 2 to 2.5 hours. We don't take any more than 6 people or less than 2, and depends on the cameras. I have people that can run in and out of here in an hour and a half. I haven't ever taken a tour faster than that, but there's so much to see. There's 800 feet of cave back here that we show, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's not the quantity, it's the quality. Beautiful back here.
There's one particular cave straw formation in this cavern that is quite unique.
The 9-foot soda straw is, out of 8,000 known caves in the Ozarks, we have the longest known straw that doesn't touch from the ceiling to the floor all the way. It's got about a 2.5-foot gap, and the ceiling provided the water, and the floor was 12.5 feet lower, and the water all built up the soda straw from the ceiling to the floor, and now it's freestanding after the top 2.5 feet of it fell. After checking around, though, we found that that is the longest known soda straw stalagmite, or we call it a straw mite, known to exist in the 8,000 plus known caves in Missouri, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. It's the weight of it, it's top heavy. It shows us that the water flooding hasn't caused any damage to it, and it also shows us that nothing has moved down here. If anything would have moved just the slightest little bit, the wrong drip of water, that would not be standing the way it is.
It looks like it's just defying gravity. It shouldn't stand there like that, like it is. It's just...
And it's hollow inside. It's got only half the density of what a icicle would have. So a hard breath, a good sneeze, and it could be gone.
Randy says there's even more cave to Cosmic Cavern.
Now they've squeezed through a little small, foot-tall passageway and are able to stand up, and it's 15 feet high, and it still goes, and we're still following airflow. Airflow is like a neon arrow. It will show whether the cave goes or not, and there is a wind back there. We are 425 feet under a ridge that goes back 8 miles. We don't think we'll ever find all of this place.
Randy says the exhilaration of wild caving is something you just can't get enough of.
It's like mountain climbing. It's like when the Spaniards explored the North American continent. You know, it's just what's around the next bend. We're not looking for the gold, but you know, like they did back in the Spaniards in the 1500s, but we're looking for where does this place go, and the excitement of being able to be the first one in there and to keep finding more and more and more. Does it get bigger? Does it get smaller? It's just the excitement. It's like skydiving, mountain climbing. There's an excitement to it. Okay, that's pretty drippy. Watch your back right here when you come underneath. I have scraped my back there a few times.
Ah, yes. Fun of wild caving. Doesn't. Something else. Looking at all this underground adventure, and it's just too awesome for words sometimes.
Well, it can't just stop. It keeps on going. We'll never find it all. It's like finding all the stars on the planet. You'll never find the end of every cave.
It's the longest bayou in the world, Bayou Bartholomew. Originating in the Pine Bluff area, it extends all the way down into Louisiana. Now that's a distance of 350-something miles. Folks here in Pine Bluff are fortunate because they can experience this bayou and not even having to get on it by way of the Bayou Bartholomew Nature Trail. Let's take a hike and experience it for ourselves. Bayou Bartholomew was named after St. Bartholomew by French-speaking Catholic settlers of the lower Mississippi River Valley. This is one of the easiest trails to get to, located just north of Interstate 530 at the Hazel Street exit in Pine Bluff. It's a 1 3/4 mile loop trail, and for a leisurely visit, Allow yourself at least 2 hours.
The trail area is something that we wanted to put in Pine Bluff, somewhere that people could, a large number of people might be able to get out and see a little bit of what it's like, at least in its headwater areas. And most of this land through Pine Bluff along the bayou is within the floodplain and not really developable anyway. So we thought it might be good for recreational areas, for hiking. There's probably a good 9 miles of stream length through Pine Bluff. We were able to get some easements from land that the highway department owned as well as the city and establish this nature trail.
There are interpretive signs along the way and 2 wildlife observation blinds, so by all means bring a camera and/or binoculars. Also, a swamp environment isn't the only habitat the trail offers.
There's quite a variety of habitats as you walk through the trail. Some of the areas, I guess, that we just looked at, you'll see some beaver ponds that are rather permanent wetlands, but only there because of the beaver damming up some of the small tributaries or ditches that come in. And of course they provide habitat for everything from waterfowl to salamanders to various kinds of turtles and snakes and other sorts of creepy crawly things, but some quite unique habitat. There's mixed hardwood forests where you will see large pine trees on some of the slightly higher ground. It may only be a foot or 2 higher than the surrounding ground. And then on those lower grounds around it, you'll see things like water oaks and willow oaks, some of the more tolerant aquatic hickories, and so on. And you'll see some forests that have been cut maybe 30 years ago where you see rather small diameter hardwoods and they're rather dense, to some more open canopy like we have over here, open understory with much larger trees that are quite a bit older. As far as diversity, it's an incredibly diverse system. This bayou runs, probably 359 miles from its headwaters, which are about 9 miles upstream from where we're located now. So if you were to hop in a canoe, and I've done it once, and go the entire length of it, it's 350 miles from where we're standing to where this bayou joins the
You've canoed the whole route?
River. Yes.
My goodness.
Yep, the whole thing. But the diversity is incredible. We've sampled fish for, probably slightly over a decade off and on at 13 locations in the bayou, and we found 117 species of fish in the bayou, 35 different species of freshwater clams or mussels, and so that makes this probably the 2nd or 3rd most diverse stream on the North American continent, only behind the Green River of Kentucky. And so from a biodiversity standpoint, there is no place in the United States that's really any more diverse than what this stream is. And the plant life's incredible too, but I won't claim to be a botanist, so I won't go into those.
We might add this word of caution. If you plan on venturing onto this trail during the warm, muggy months, you will encounter plenty of mosquitoes, fire ants, which are right next to the trail, and snakes. So it's up to you as far as just how much adventure you want or can take. So explore the world's longest bayou, Bayou Bartholomew here in Pine Bluff by way of the Nature Trail, or experience Cosmic Cavern north of Berryville with either the Wild Cave Tour or the regular tour. Either one you choose, you can't go wrong. And don't forget about the Smith Creek Preserve south of Boxley Valley in northwest Arkansas. 1,100 acres of pristine natural beauty that's protected by the Nature Conservancy. And for more info on these and other destinations, or to order a copy of a program, visit our website, aetn.org/exploringarkansas. And we'll see you again the next time for another exciting adventure on Exploring Arkansas.